Well, banks in the UK could be set to build firewalls between their operations. Chancellor George Osborne is going to give his approval to a report by the Independent Commission on Banking that calls for lenders to separate their riskier operations from their high street lending business. Well, Poppy Trowbridge has more on this from the heart of London's financial district. Poppy.
Well, Lindsay, we know that bankers who work here in London's financial district face more job cuts because the crisis is dragging on. The industry as a whole, the banking industry as a whole, is scaling back. On top of it, this onslaught of new regulation, key to which is what George Osborne is going to be talking about in the Houses of Parliament later today, could cost banks billions of dollars, euros or pounds, whatever currency. And the concern is that that will drive the industry away from Britain. But some experts we've been speaking to, Lindsay, say that, in fact, it might actually bring a welcome balance back into banking here.
Undoubtedly, the financial services industry got a bit oversized. It had expanded, it had borrowed too much money, and it is now shrinking to a certain degree back into the capital or the risk-based money that's in the city.
So even if that were the case, the worry is that once it's gone, it'd be difficult to get it back when growth returns.
And what would a smaller banking industry mean for the country in terms of the cost to the economy?
Well, that's also another concern, Lindsay, that the UK could lose one of its best assets, the financial services industry. Don't forget, banks are very big taxpayers. Now, the city pays about £60 billion a year in tax revenue. That's about 12% of the total tax take in this country, Lindsay. And it's really not just on the monetary front, employment as well. Financial services employ almost 4% of the entire UK workforce. And of course, the concern is that if these costs are too much for banks, they will leave the UK, taking jobs and taking tax revenue with them.
And which banks are going to be the most affected by this ring fencing law?
Well, here in the UK specifically, I think both RBS and Barclays could be quite affected. Barclays, of course, because it's a very big investment banking operation, but also RBS. We saw them take action yesterday. We got some news yesterday that may close down some of their units that do some of this riskier type of thing that the government wants to separate. Of course, doing that, they avoid the cost for ring fencing, and it looks like they prefer to do that than keep the business open.
Poppy Trowbridge, thanks so much.